Welcome back to another love movie. My name is Aaron, and today we'll be taking a look at a story called A Walk to Remember.
It's like you're reading my mind.
Great, maybe you could read mine.
The film begins with a group of popular and rebellious high school teenagers pranking the new student Clay by luring him to an abandoned factory. His task is to jump into the water from a great height to join their gang. Landon Carter joins him for a round, although it appears that he does not jump with him. He hurts himself, and the teenagers flee the scene after discovering him injured. While security contacts the cops, Landon decides to stay with Clay. "You're a brave man." "Oh, actually, maybe not." He tries to escape without Clay, but is caught, injuring himself in the process. Landon's mother is concerned about him and suggests contacting his father. He complains about his father's inability to emotionally support him. His father is rich, but wealth means nothing to them. The Reverend prays at church for Clay's health and God's direction for Landon and his friends. Landon and the Reverend's daughter Jamie Sullivan make eye contact while she sings in a church. Is there any chemistry between them? Let's see how this unfolds. Belinda, Landon's ex-girlfriend, notices them exchanging glances. At school, Landon is summoned by the principal, who outlines his punishment for what happened. Landon fears he will get expelled from school, but the principal has other plans. His punishment will include assisting janitors after classes, tutoring school pupils on weekends, and participating in the drama club. Looks like Landon's expulsion from school is not enough punishment for his mischief. The principal wants him to surround himself with good company. His friends come to take him out while he is performing the first assignment of janitor service, but he refuses. Knights Landon. After school, Belinda approaches Landon, but he reminds her of their breakup. Now that Landon has to tutor a student on the weekends, it appears that Jamie is also there with him. She attempts to speak to him after witnessing his inefficiency in performing the tasks. Yeah, Jamie Sullivan took the first step, while pressuring him to discuss the tutoring issue and visit Clay in the rehabilitation center. Landon shows little concern and instead mocks her for carrying the Bible and her not caring about people's opinions of her. He expresses his disinterest while stating that they have been studying together since kindergarten. Exciting. They have known each other since they were children, and he finds nothing exceptional about her. Not fair, Landon. It's time for the spring play auditions and Landon's third duty. Jamie and Landon find themselves beneath a roof once more while practicing for the show. Landon learns about Jamie's life goals after rehearsal when she drops him off at home. While sitting in Jamie's car, he tries to avoid being seen by his friends standing outside. "Landon, are you nervous?" When he fails to rehearse for his play with Eric, he hints to Landon that theater is not his cup of tea. He should walk away from this. What are your thoughts? Landon decides to ask Jamie for assistance in memorizing his lines from the play. She agrees, but on the condition that he will not fall in love with her. That's wonderful. Landon laughs, thinking the proposal is a joke. Jamie's father is opposed to Jamie helping Landon because of his rebellious nature. Suddenly, a ring at the doorbell. Landon arrives, but he is unwelcomed by Jamie's father. Be patient, Landon. You'll have to tolerate things other than play. One day while driving home, Landon notices Jamie walking through a cemetery. He discovers that Jamie is carrying a telescope. Jamie offers him a look at the sky via her homemade telescope. She intends to construct a massive structure to see a comet that is expected to appear in the coming spring. Landon looks impressed. The next day, Jamie approaches Landon to remind him about their rehearsal after school in front of his friends. He is rude to her in front of his group to keep their friendship hidden. Don't even try, Landon. Jamie deserves some respect in front of your fellows for assisting you in rehearsal. Landon visits Jamie's place to practice his lines after the incident at school. Jamie doesn't accept to be his secret friend this time, making him feel unwelcome. He does, however, promise to tell his friends about their friendship soon. The moment Jamie expected to see something admirable, she regrets it. You must give yourself a chance, Landon. She deserves to be your friend just like the others. Later, Landon reads in a magazine about Jamie's interest in planets and the discovery of a miracle. What do you think of her interest, Landon? However, he tries to learn his lines on his own. terrible choice, Landon. After a few days of infrequent communication with Jamie, Landon manages to visit Clay Geffart in rehab to apologize. Clay says that he wanted to be their friend and subsequently forgives him. It's nevertheless a good start, Landon. It's time for the big play, and all of a sudden, Landon forgets his lines when he sees Jamie. Jamie gracefully covers his gap by starting to sing on the floor. "How melodious your voice is, Jamie." Landon purposely kisses Jamie in front of the crowd near the end of the play. I'm sure it wasn't a part of it. To congratulate him, Landon's father approaches him, but Landon turns and leaves. Back on track, Landon meets Jamie to apologize for avoiding her in front of his friends. Try again, Landon. His friend Eric is upset at Landon's shifting attitude toward his group as a result of his closeness to Jamie. Landon confesses that he is changing because of her. Landon reappears to Jamie by presenting her with a sweater. Maybe she will forgive him. What do you think? She is warned by her father to consider what God thinks of Landon. She reassures her father that God desires her happiness. On the other side, Landon's mother advises him to forgive his father for the mistakes of the past. Belinda envies Jamie and brutally teases her in front of the entire school with Dean. In response to this prank, Jamie is consoled by Landon in front of his friends, and he hits Dean for doing this. After calming Jamie, he invites her on a date but learns about the restriction from her father. He approaches the Reverend for permission in the church, which he ultimately obtains. On their date, Jamie invites him to dance with her. That's quite romantic. Stay for a little longer. Their bond becomes quite strong over time. Landon expresses his feelings for Jamie, but she reminds him of the promise not to fall in love with her. Now everything changes. Their relationship is observed by everyone. Jamie's dad warns her again by suggesting that she should inform him right away. If she has feelings for him, she should tell him. What secret is Jamie keeping from us? Landon arranges to surprise Jamie by naming a star after her name in International Star Registry. After that, he comes to know about Jamie's top thing on the list is to marry in the same church where their parents married. He is determined that his relationship with her makes him a better person. He's also going to put in a lot of effort to get accepted into medical school. Landon discovers Jamie's distraction when he inquires about college plans. Oh my God. Jamie claims that she will never attend college. She stopped responding to leukemia treatments 2 years ago. No, she cannot do that. She doesn't have much time left and is upset by the fact that she just now started to get close to someone. Devastated by the news, Landon rushes to his father, who also happens to be a doctor, in a desperate attempt to find some therapy. But he leaves in despair after failing to obtain any assistance from him. Eric comes to Landon in case he needs him, but who can help him feel better? Landon tries to come to her house and leaves her flowers, but she does not want to see him yet. He tries to tell her father that he will not leave her. Poor Landon. Jamie arrives after a few days of hopelessness to inspire Landon to be brave in the face of bad news. She even expresses regret for not informing him sooner. We are aware that now is not the time for excuses. She is more afraid of losing him than of dying. Landon decides to spend her final days pursuing her goals. Yes, at least it is in his hands. To dance with Jamie, he follows his mother's instructions for a few steps. Dean arrives to apologize and expresses his support for Landon, while Landon is busy building a larger telescope for Jamie as she desired. But fate has other plans for you, Landon. Jamie is brought to the hospital due to a decline in her health condition. Landon stays by her side till her father requests some alone time with her. The heartbreaking scene that comes between a father and daughter will undoubtedly make you cry. Her father recalls her childhood memories. He was unsure about raising her after losing her mother, caring for and shielding her. I suggest taking out your tissue box. I'm guessing you'll need it the most. I wish there was a happy ending. Jamie gives Landon her mother's book in the hospital. What a nice moment. This must mean a lot for her. Landon and Jamie exchange phrases from her mother's book. Sweet, yet sentimental. Jamie reminds Landon that God has a bigger plan for her. Landon's presence means a lot to her since it helped her fight her disease. You are my angel, she exclaims. You love birds. Jamie's father thanks Landon, because his father helped Jamie by paying for private treatment. After hearing this, Landon reaches out to his father, weeps, and embraces him in gratitude for what he has done for Jamie. Wipe your tears. With the assistance of Jamie's father, Landon completes the telescope. On her balcony, he surprises her with a massive telescope. Her wish has come true. Landon crafted it, especially for her. They both enjoy their moment as they glimpse a comet in the sky through the telescope. Landon asks if she would do one thing for him. Wow. He proposes she marries him. And she of course says yes. On their wedding day, Jamie walks past her father in the chapel to Landon. Just bringing up the title of the movie, A Walk to Remember. They're exchanging vows. I wish this moment could just stay forever, if only you could pause time. Until this wedding, Landon had fulfilled all of her dreams. Landon narrates how they spent their summer together up until the moment she died, leaving him. Landon pays a visit to Jamie's father 4 years after her death. Landon informs him of his acceptance to medical school. The Reverend believes Jamie would be proud of Landon like they all do. Landon offers him the book that belonged to Jamie's mother. Her father says that Landon might be a miracle she was looking for. Jamie, according to Landon, is the person who taught him to live and gave him hope for the rest of his life. He believes what Jamie used to say, their love is like a breeze. He can't see it, but he feels it. This film has a remarkable plot that will undoubtedly break your hearts. Despite their different socioeconomic statuses, Landon, a rebellious boy, falls in love with Jamie, a shy and gentle girl. This movie inspires you to feel and trust in miracles. Although it has a tragic ending, it conveys the belief that love can conquer anything. It changes a person's way of thinking. The story is engaging enough for teenagers as well as adults to enjoy watching. I strongly advise you to see this masterpiece because of its